36. 36. Okay, so that's about a 10-minute warm up. Um, why don't you guys do that again, and then we will move on to move number five, which is circulating the sun and the moon. So, Jack, why don't you lead this time, and then maybe tomorrow we'll have Jill lead, and then Catherine if she's here.
Okay. I might need a little help from my friends.
Well, that's why we're doing it again, right? Okay, I'll listen in.
Oh, I know I forgot one, maybe more. Anyone remember anything else? No. No, more coffee? That's all I can remember for short-term memory is not highly functional this morning.
Well, that was pretty good. More functional than mine. I realize I've trained my cat that whenever we go to down to do squats, that's her time to get a good rubbing. And so this time she thought, "Oh, you're going to do a squat." Oh, oh.
Okay, on to move number 5. It's called circulating the chi around the sun and the moon. So the sun is the heart, the moon are the lungs. The sun, the heart in the body, is where all the yang lines of chi meet. The moon, the lungs, are where all the yin lines meet. So um, you want those to be in what's called the great harmony. So they want to be well balanced and harmonized, and this is a an exercise for that. All right. So you begin by rubbing your lao gong in the center of each palm together until you feel them get hot, and then you place them on the breasts and feel the heat go into the heart and the lungs. When you should be standing in a wuji posture, but you don't want to stand stiffly. You don't want your legs to be stiff. So relax your knees a little bit, relax your hip joints just a little bit, and let yourself just sort of naturally sway whatever way your body wants to go. So you should feel some heat coming into the chest. And also, any tension or discomfort in the body, the heat comes in, the tension goes out, right, into the hands themselves, and then shake it out. And again, 3 times. And shake it out. And warm up the hands again. We're all indoors, so this should not be a problem. You should feel hot between your hands. But if you practice this outside, if after you do this your hands are still cold, don't put them on your chest. Just keep doing this until they get hot. Then put it on your chest. If you happen to be outside and it's kind of a cool day or even a cold day, another thing you can practice is tumo, which is heating the body from the Dan Chen. So as you do this, imagine down here in your Dan Chen, this is like a room, and in the room there's a candle. So you're lighting that candle and it's giving off heat. All right. So it's giving off heat in here and it's moving out to all parts of the body. All right. And when the whole body feels warm, shake it out a last time. All right. And now we're going to do a form of self-massage. You can actually touch the body if you want, or you can do it more shiatsu style, where your hands are 3 or 4 inches off the body. What you should do when you're doing this is you should realize that and imagine that you're circulating the qi, especially through the chest, so the lungs and the heart, right? And of course, that's going to mix the yang of the heart with the yin of the lungs, and the yin of the lungs with the yang of the heart, and that's what rebalances everything. '18 and reverse. Okay, so we usually do that move on Sunday mornings, but we do it toward the end. Feng does it kind of in the middle. The truth is that the sequence of these exercises is not as important as the exercises themselves. So once you learn all the exercises, you can do any of them individually, you can do any combination of them, and you can do them in any order. Feng like that particular order. I like different order. Um, Also, I did it the way that he does it most of the time in classes. But partly he does it that way because there are longer versions, but of course they take more time. And if you've just got, say, 40 or 50 minutes to do this, sometimes you just have to sort of cut some parts of it out. So I did this where you come together, but let me explain what you do. I like the longer version, so maybe tomorrow we'll do the longer version of this. Right? So you heat the body up. Right? One of the reasons to do this is just to maintain the body and the flexibility of the central body. Um, in some of his writings, Feng says um, neutralization all comes from the chest and the stomach. Neutralizing energy means somebody's attacking, some energy is coming in. You neutralize it, but not with the arms. You neutralize it with the core body. All right. So the core, you need to pay a lot of attention to your core body. Keep it well tuned up. All right. This is a kind of tuning up that is less lifting weights or even doing calisthenics and more paying attention to the energy body. So you warm it up, and the major thing you warm up is the sun and the moon, the heart and the lungs. But in fact, it's the whole core. And then when you're doing this, you're circulating the chi through the body, and where you're circulating is, yes, the heart and the lungs, but also the kidneys, the liver, and the spleen. So all really the five major soft organs inside the body, and you're washing them with chi. So it's just sort of medicinal, right? And then the opposite way. Right? Actually, you should start with this one and end with this one. And then we do on Sunday mornings, we do an additional piece, and that is we do the same thing for the brain and the spinal canal. All right, so you're washing the brain and down to the brain stem and the spinal canal, and then again. And then the opposite way. And then after you've done each of those, say 9 times or 12 times or 18 times, I usually in class do them 12 times. Um, then you come down and you alternate the hands going up and down or going down the Ren meridian. And what you're doing is cleaning out the meridian in the front of the body. All right. So if you have a house, you may get up on a ladder every fall and clean the leaves out of the gutters. Right? This is kind of like that. It's just cleaning out the channel. And then after you do that 9, 12, 18 times, you lace the fingers together and go right through the physical body and clean out the Du meridian in the back. Now, it's not this. It's not this. Watch. That's not it. Watch my body. Open the chest And now relax the chest and drop into the Mingmen in the lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. All right? Wash that out. And you may feel your spine popping a little bit as you go through this exercise. That's good for it, right? And then shake it out. All right, make sure to warm your hands up again and go. All right. There's another rebalancing exercise that we will eventually do too. That's similar to this, but a little different in that the purpose of this exercise is partly prophylactic. It's medicinal. You're taking care of your inner organs, but you're also rebalancing the sun and the moon, so the heart and the lungs. This other exercise that I'm mentioning rebalances the left and right side of the body. So this is very similar because the left side is usually considered the sun side and the right side is considered the moon side because the heart lies a little bit more to the left, so it's more to the sun, and this one lies a little bit over. But it's a slightly different exercise, but you'll recognize the intention when we get to it, right? Okay, we've got 25 minutes left, so we have enough time to do this routine as we've learned it so far, 5 moves. And normally when you do this yourself, most of these moves you do 18 times, some of them even 36 times. But that takes too long for a class, so I think we should restrict it to 9 times. Right? And if you've got a left and right version, then each of them go 9 times. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the room, and one by one, everybody's going to lead one exercise. All right. So we're going to start with Catherine. Catherine's going to lead us in the first exercise. All right, Catherine, we're waiting.
First one, what is the first one?
That's exactly the question. What is the first one? So we'll do them in the routine in the order that I've been teaching you, which is the order that Master Feng often did them in. But again, there's nothing sacred about that. You can do them in lots of orders, but just do the first one I taught you.
The first one.
No, not today. Not today. I'm talking about that I've been teaching you for the past week. The purpose of putting you on the spot is it will cause you to remember this from now on. You will never forget it, all right?
I know, Malcolm, but I missed the class Monday and Tuesday.
I know, all right? But I know you went and watched the videos, didn't you?
Well, I have to say I haven't yet because my days are crazy, but I will.
Okay, so she may not know this first one at all. Jack, do you remember the first one?
I might. Let's do it, and you tell me whether I remember it correctly.
All right.
You're a hard taskmaster.
It's good for you.
Reverse. Or is it up or I into the, oh, okay.
All right, take your time. And 3 Tai Chi Qigong. So Master Zhang had a couple of ways to inspire your study. One of the things, if he asked you to do something, right, like lead, and you couldn't remember, he would just stand there for a minute and just look at you. He wouldn't say anything. He'd just look at you, and then he'd pick someone else. The other thing he would do, and I had that done to me several times, right? The other thing he would do is just in conversation, he would go, Jack, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. But Brian is doing this really, really well. Michael's doing this really well. He's really good at it. And then he'd go on to something else, right? And of course, everybody'd go, well, I'm going to get as good as Michael, right? Or whatever. And you think, it's so childish, right? No, I won't fall for that. But you did. You did fall for that, all right? Anyway. Okay, second move. Jill, do you know the second move?
That the 3 Dantians.
Charging the 3 Dantians. Okay, you lead. Okay, so that last move that we did, there are several ways to do it. Master Zhang did not do it that way. So Feng would open up really wide and then come into the upper Dan Chen, the middle Dan Chen, and the lower Dan Chen. Master Zhang did a different pattern, all right? It accomplished the same thing, but he would reach out like this and gather and bring in. Feng would reach out like this. All right? Either way is okay. I'm sort of used to doing it Zhang's way, but I actually like Feng's way better. So I'm gonna do it Feng's way. Okay, the next move, the third move. Does anybody remember the third move? Jack?
I think it's this.
Yes. Go for it. Now, before you start, right, hold your hands out and feel the connection between your Lao Gong. Right? When you feel the Lao Gong heating up, then you can start. And you might go, well, what do you mean heating up? It should feel like there's a little very subtle electrical impulse in each Lao Gong. And reverse. Okay, now, after you've done that for a while, you may find that the Lao Gong are getting hotter and hotter. That is, the feeling of just a little prickle in the middle of the palm gets quite strong. If you're wondering what that's, well, maybe you're not feeling that. You're wondering what that's like. Um, kids play with this actually, where if you take your hand and very slowly move it over someone's forearm, right? They're going to feel the heat, and the hairs on the skin may stand up. You're not touching it physically, but you're touching it energetically. I can remember people doing this to the back of my head, where I was, paying attention to something and I didn't know they were back there, and they would come up behind your neck or your head and put their hands over you, and you would feel like the hair on the back of your neck stand up, right? That's that's the kind of subtlety you're looking for. It's a very subtle feeling. But if you pay attention, you may notice that it's there. Somebody asked Master Feng once, what is Qi? And he said, well, it's partly bioelectric. That's what I'm talking about. It's partly magnetic. And it's also a lot of things that we really don't understand. That's a good way to put it. But you can feel it if you pay attention. That's another reason why the Sunday morning class is so important. Because in the other classes, we're busy doing all kinds of other things. But this is really the foundation on which all those things are built, is your ability to feel these very subtle, or what at first seem like very subtle feelings. And reverse. And after a while, after you get into this for a few weeks or months, it literally feels like there's something in your hand, in the palm of your hand. It feels very real. And then you realize when you take that and you do this, you're actually doing something. Something real is happening. It's not just vacant space. And reverse. Okay, so we're a little bit out of time here, but the other day I was thinking about fish. I know you all stop and think about fish like I do occasionally, right? And what I was thinking about is, isn't it incredible that a fish breathes water? A fish breathes water. You and I breathe air. But they're two versions of the same thing. We have this mindset that this is just vacant. I'm in an empty room, right? Well, I mean, there's furniture over on the sides, but the room is empty. But that's not true. It's just not true. If this was a giant aquarium and I was a big fish, you wouldn't think the aquarium was empty, right? So why do you think the room is empty? You're breathing the air in exactly the same way that the fish is breathing the water. It's something. It's because it's transparent, we just sort of think that it's not there, but it is there. You're in a form of water. You're actually in water. It's a particular form of water, but it's water, right? It's an interesting thought. Yes, Catherine, absolutely. Right? When you're doing Tai Chi and Qigong, you're swimming. You're swimming in the water in which you grew up, right?
Catherine's doing
Okay.
that dance move from the 60s. Remember
Yeah,
the swim.
The swim. That's actually a great version of Change Palms 3
Yes.
rounds. All right, guys, have yourselves a great day. We'll move on tomorrow. Ciao.
Happy swimming.